Hello. Augie and Bozza. I was gonna say the S word then. But I
what? Real name Klaxon?
In time. It's not so much of a real name Klaxon because it is her Twitch name. But Bozza is her adopted.
Yeah.
Given name. Who?
Hello, you lot.
Hi, Moon.
See, Moon's going to guide us flawlessly through this quest. He's now officially a pro.
Are you, Moon? Hello! Alright, fartness.
Maybe I should rename the channel to Bother. No, I don't think so. I can't do that on here with my phone. Best of luck.
I can't.
Why? I can't. I
Put your phone on your lap.
No. You are bleeding awkward, you are.
I am.
Hello, Ali.
Ali! Here you go, dear.
No, it's not. My name's Gav. This is Stu. We couldn't afford Eddie Marson.
Hi, Lucky. Right, let me put the just chat on.
Oh, he's died 2 or 3 times today or whatever.
What a silly sausage. It's only bloody Eddie Marson. Marson? How do you say it? I don't know. It's warm in here, isn't it?
Yes. Excuse me.
Everyone alright?
No. Right,
Oh, hello, Mr. Woody.
Oh, hi.
By Jove, it's a fellow from the world's end.
Indeed.
It is indeed, Mr. Woody.
Right, I need to click on the game, do I not?
Yes, you do. There you go. You need to do the refresh in the bottom left.
Right.
That's at the end of a...
Can you hear some background noise at the minute, which sounds a bit like a fire burning? Or shall I just start?
I've just thought, wait a minute.
Oh, here we go.
We need to turn it down.
Despite its name, Fang was an ordinary small town in a northern province of Chiang Mai, situated on the banks of a river. It made a convenient stopover for river traders and passengers throughout most of the year. A few barges, rafts, and sometimes even a large sailboat could usually be found moored at Fang. But all that was long ago, before the creation of the Trial of Champions. Now, once a year,
Can you guys
the
hear that,
river
all
is
right?
crammed with boats as people arrive from hundreds of miles around, hoping to witness the breaking of an ancient tradition and see a victor in the Trial of Champions.
Oh, cheers, Lou. Woody said I need to refer to him as Mr. Woody at all times. But it's not Woody, it's Woody. Woody. Moon's reading along with it.
On the 1st of May each year, warriors and heroes come to Fang to face the test of their lives. Survival is unlikely, yet many take the risk, for the prize is great. A purse of 10,000 gold pieces and the freedom of Chiang Mai forever. But to become champion is no easy task. Some years ago, a powerful baron of Fang called Sukhumvit decided to bring attention to his town by creating the ultimate contest. With the help of the townspeople, he constructed a labyrinth deep in the hillside behind Fang, from which there was only one exit. The labyrinth was filled with all kinds of deadly tricks and traps and loathsome monsters.
Rudeness.
Sukhumvit had designed it in meticulous detail, so that anybody hoping to face its challenge would have to use their wits as well as weapon skill. When he was finally satisfied that all was complete, he put his labyrinth to the test. He picked 10 of his finest guards, and fully armed, they marched into the labyrinth. They were never seen again. The tale of the ill-fated guards soon spread throughout the land, and it was then that Sukhumvit announced the first Trial of Champions, Messengers and news sheets carried his challenge, 10,000 gold pieces and freedom of Chiang Mai forever to any person surviving the perils of the labyrinth of Fang. The first year, 17 brave warriors attempted the walk, as it later became known. Not one reappeared. As the years passed and the trial of champions continued, it attracted more and more challengers and spectators. Fang prospered and would prepare itself months in advance for the spectacle it hosted each May. The town would be decorated, tents erected, dining halls built, musicians, dancers, fire eaters, illusionists, and every sort of entertainer hired, and entries registered from hopeful individuals intent on making the walk. The last week of April found the people of Fang and its visitors in wild celebration. Everybody sang, danced, and laughed until the day broke on the 1st of May, when the town thronged to the gates of the labyrinth to watch the first challenger of the year step forward to face the trial of champions.
Is that on purpose?
That's why it's released now, you gimp.
Having seen one of
That was
Succumbit's challenges nailed to a tree, you decide that this year you will attempt the walk. For the last 5 years you have been attracted to it not for the rewards, but for the simple fact that nobody has ever yet emerged victorious from the labyrinth. You intend to make this the year in which a champion is crowned. Gathering up a few belongings, you set off immediately.
Doubtful.
2 days' walk takes you west to the coast, where you
2
enter the
days.
first port, Black Sand. Wasting no time in that city of thieves, you buy your passage on a small boat sailing north to where the river Coke meets the sea. And from there you raft upriver for 4 days, until finally you arrive in Fang.
That is low.
The trial begins in 3 days' time, and the town is in an almost hysterical mood of excitement. You register your entry with the officials and are given a violet scarf to tie around your arm, informing everyone of your status. For 3 days, you enjoy Fang's greatest hospitality and are treated like a demigod. During the long merriment, you almost forget your purpose in Fang, but the evening before the trial, the magnitude of the task ahead begins to dominate your thoughts. Later, you are taken to a special guest house and are shown your room. There is a splendid 4-poster bed with satin sheets to help you rest, but there is little time left.
Satin sheets make you sweaty.
Just before dawn, a trumpet call awakens you from vivid dreams of flaming pits and giant black spiders. Minutes later, there is a knock on your door, and a man's voice rings out saying, "Your challenge begins soon. Please be ready to leave in 10 minutes. You climb out of bed, walk over to the window and open the shutters. Already people are thronging the streets, moving quietly through the morning mist. Spectators, no doubt on their way to the labyrinth, hoping to find good vantage points from which to watch the competitors. Walking over to a wooden table on which your trusty sword and shield lie, you pick them up and cut the air with a mighty sweep, wondering which beasts your sword's sharp edge may soon have to meet. You open the door into the corridor, and a small man greets you with a low bow as you emerge from your bedroom. "Please follow me," he says. He turns to his left and walks quickly towards the stairs at the end of the corridor. Walking through a parting in the crowds, you see Baron Succumbit himself, standing by the entrance waiting to greet the contender in the trial of champions. You count 5 others standing proudly in line, their violet scarves displayed for all to see. There are 2 bare-chested barbarians dressed in furs.
I hope they're winning.
They stand completely motionless, legs straight and slightly apart, arms thrust forward to rest on the hilts of their long, double-headed battle axes. A sleek elven woman with golden hair and feline green eyes is adjusting the crossbelt of daggers wrapped around her leather tunic. Of the two remaining men, one is covered from head to foot in iron plate armor, with a plumed helmet and a crested shield. The other is cloaked in black robes, only his dark eyes showing between the swarms of his black-faced scars. Long knives, a wire garrote, and other silent death weapons hang from his belt. The 5 contenders acknowledge your arrival with almost imperceptible nods of the head, and you turn to face the exultant crowd for the last time. Suddenly, a hush falls over the crowd as Baron Suckenvit steps forward, holding 6 bamboo sticks. You draw one from his outstretched hand, and you read the word.
I thought it said filth then.
Filth.
Then the trial begins.
Hello, Cross. How you
Hi,
doing?
Cross and Caps.
The knight is first. He salutes the crowd before disappearing into the tunnel, and is followed half an hour later by the elf. Next goes a barbarian, and then the dark assassin. Next, it's your turn. But before embarking on your adventure, we must first determine your own strengths and weaknesses. You have in your possession a sword, a shield, and a backpack for carrying provisions for the trip. You have been preparing for your quest by training yourself in swordplay and exercising rigorously. To see how effective your preparations have been, dice will be rolled to determine your skill, stamina, and luck scores. Or, if you wish to begin your adventure immediately, you can choose between 3 ready-made adventurers.
Don't look at me, I don't know.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, same one as before, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what, this,
So-
it's like the official release of it today. We had like
Yes. Or yesterday, whenever it was.
what do you call it?
Early access.
Early access one, didn't
Yeah.
we? Oh, right. I didn't realise that. I wondered why you were suddenly talking about it again. I didn't realise that it was being properly released.
Yes.
I see.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Is there any echo or anything? Because we've got to listen to this through the loudspeaker on the laptop, and we can't have it hooked up to the telly because it was slowing everything down. And also,
It was literally about a second behind,
yeah.
wasn't
Is
it?
there any some sort of buffering or anything like that as well?
Basically, is everything behaving itself?
Yeah, because we're just a bit concerned. That's why we was a little bit late. We was on time. It's just a case of
Genuinely were. But we put it on, it's like, oh, can't watch that. It was literally about half a second behind.
Are we
weren't
just
it?
re-rolling until I get perfect rolls? Yeah, is that the crack? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound.
Thank you very much.
First, we'll roll for your initial level of skill.
Everyone alright, anyway?
This reflects your sword skill and fighting expertise, and will be determined by rolling 1 die and adding
One die
6.
6 times.
It'll be a pebble by the time I've rolled what I want, won't it? Good
Nice
start.
dice. A 1.
Are you kidding me? I'm not having a 1. You're having a fucking
You're having a laugh! I just woke up from a nap. I've had a very tiring day of doing nothing.
I didn't even get to roll.
Please go on one.
But we're having a bad day. It's gone on 1 twice.
Do it again. It's a bit rude that you can just keep doing it. You should just roll it once and that's it.
Yeah. Now, should we try once more? See if we can beat a 4?
Yeah, because it's going to be a 2. And then you've got to have it then.
This will be the stream, this will. It doesn't get all my rolls decent. That's unreal, that is. That'll do. Skill 10's
Ooh,
good.
Oggy's been building Lego. Was it a car?
3 roll max.
4 will do, I suppose.
We'll roll for your initial stamina, which represents your strength. So the higher your stamina score, the longer you will survive. This will be determined by rolling 2 dice and adding
How did you get on with
12.
it? Moody-doo! How are you?
What's the maximum? 24 then? 2 dice add 12.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have more than that.
That's so rude that you can keep re-rolling it.
Whoa!
That'll do, pig. I think you should re-roll because it's shit.
Get out.
Next, we'll roll for your initial luck, which represents how lucky an adventurer you are.
I think I've just proved that.
And
You're an
magic
unlucky pig.
are facts of life in the fantasy world you're about to explore. This is determined by rolling 1 die and adding 6.
You're going to get a 3.
Ooh.
That's weird.
Got to re-roll that. It's halfway, ain't it?
It's got to be the second half, isn't it?
This is mental.
Rude. I do think it's bullshit that you can re-roll it. I think you should be stuck. I think you should be stuck with what you have.
I think it'll be 3 then.
But you've got to re-roll it.
I already have. 3
Do it again.
times.
There you go.
There you go.
This is in the second half.
You may also
GG's.
take
Yes, mate.
a magical potion.
Whoa.
Oh, thanks, Woody.
Each bottle of potion
Oh,
contains
Woody.
2 measures, so can be used
Now,
twice
what potion do
during
you want
an
this
adventure.
time? Because we
You
remembered
can
last
choose from a
time.
potion of skill that restores your skill points to their
Joyce.
initial amount, a potion of strength that restores your stamina points to their initial amount, or a potion of fortune that not only restores your luck points to their initial amount, but will also increase your initial luck score by 1 each time it's used.
Yeah, because we were saying earlier, weren't we, that you what did you choose last time? You chose strength last time, and you kept saying that you didn't like it, and then we kept saying, well, you know, just
I did
start
because
again.
we made a bad mistake at the very start, so we lost skill points. But I was getting my ass kicked by bad guys because my skill was so low.
Well,
But as long as we don't make those mistakes again,
I don't know. I just know that last time you chose strength and you weren't happy. But I don't know. I don't know the game really. I can't really remember. Oggy would go for luck. Bozza would go for skill.
Then I'm going for strength.
You went for strength last time and you didn't
But
like
it was different last time.
Well, it's up to you.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just going by last time. You wanted to keep starting again. Like a little bitch.
Which may still happen.
Cross votes for pub.
Go with your gut,
Dado
blimey.
said skill. Bozza says go with your gut. Fanny.
Lastly, before you begin your quest, you are given enough provisions for 10 meals. When you eat a meal, your stamina score will increase by 4 points. But don't forget, your stamina can never exceed the initial amounts you've just set. You have a long way to go,
It's stamina, your health.
so use your provisions wisely.
Everyone's moaning that
During
you
your
ignored them.
adventure,
I don't give a shit.
you'll enter into combat a number of times, and the further you go, the tougher your opponents will be. Combat takes place
Bloody
over several
hell.
rounds, and your
20
attack strength is based
Thank
on
you very
yours
much.
and your
Bloody
enemy's
hell,
skill
thank you,
scores.
Lou.
For each round of battle, we'll roll 2 dice for you and 2 for your opponent, adding the results to your skill scores. These are your respective attack strengths. Whoever's attack strength is the highest
Oh, thanks,
wins that
Bozza.
round of
Thank
combat.
you.
If you both had the same attack strength in a round, then it will be a tie. In some battles, you can take an opportunity to escape. But beware. If you do run away, your opponent will automatically score 1 hit on you as you flee, costing you 2 stamina points. So be sure you have enough. Such is the price of cowardice. You are playing using the new battle system, where the battle takes place over 3 rounds. Your sheer battle-hardened nature will mean you'll always win the battle after the 3 rounds, but every round you lose will cost you 2 stamina points. So be careful. Losing all your stamina will still be fatal. At the start of each round, you'll have a short time to decide to fight or to build up your stamina by eating your provisions or taking a potion, if you have one.
Is this different?
I don't remember that.
this bit.
It must have been added because it was for a reason since.
Well, do a new one.
Yes, we'll see. Because then it'll be an excuse to start again when re-roll everything. You'll think, yeah, good idea, yeah.
Such a little bitch.
Now it is your turn to salute the crowd. Holding your violet scarf aloft, you take one final deep breath of cool, fresh air before turning to pass between the stone-pillared gateway into circumvent's corridors of power to face unknown perils in the walk through the mighty Baron's Deathtrap Dungeon.
I don't remember that either. No, I don't remember credits before.
No, it wasn't on the game. I'm pretty sure it wasn't on the game itself last time we played it. Arguing not the fact that it's in the book.
The clamour of the excited spectators gradually fades behind you as you venture deep into the gloom of the cavern. Large crystals hang from the tunnel roof at 20-metre intervals, radiating just enough soft light for you to see your way. As your eyes gradually become accustomed to the near darkness, you begin to see movement all around. Spiders and beetles crawling up and down the chiselled walls disappear quickly into cracks and crevices as they sense your approach. Rats and mice scurry along the floor ahead of you. Droplets of water drip into small pools with an eerie plopping sound which echoes down the tunnel. The air is cold, moist and dank. After walking slowly along the tunnel for about 5 minutes, you arrive at a stone table standing against the wall to your left. On it, there are 6 boxes, one of which has your name painted on its lid.
Well, we're opening the box,
Yeah, you
aren't
don't
we?
need to ask, do you? Oh, hello, Bomber.
Oh, hi.
The lid of the box lifts off
Nice.
easily.
Rude.
Inside, you find 2 gold pieces and a note written on a small piece of parchment addressed to you. After placing the gold in your pocket, you read the message, which says, "Well done. At least you have the sense to stop and take advantage of the token aid given to you. Now I can advise you that you will need to find and use several items if you hope to pass triumphantly through my Deathtrap Dungeon. Signed, Succumbit. Memorizing the advice on the note, you tear it into tiny pieces and continue north along the tunnel, where you come to a junction. A white arrow painted on one wall points west. On the floor, you can see wet footprints made by those who entered before you. It's hard to be sure, but it looks as though 3 of them followed the direction of the arrow, while 1 decided to go east.
Well then. Where are we going then, Bert?
I don't know. So 3 went west.
Woody.
3 went west, that the arrow was pointing, and 1 went east.
Yes.
I'm sure we went east before.
Did we? I can't remember.
It seems like something we would do.
Obama says north.
Helpful.
Lou's being helpful also.
Lou is a knob, but we all knew that.
West it is. Ali's...
Following the 3 sets of wet footprints along the west passage of the tunnel, you soon arrive at a junction.
West, are you mad?
We didn't go this way last time, I don't
I
think.
really can't remember, actually. Bomber's
For God's
passage is wet.
sake.
That's lovely. Thank you for sharing.
Oh,
Moon
dear.
and Lucky had a power cut.
Oh, nice.
I can just imagine how apeshit Moon is going. Disco!
Hello, Disco.
Hi, Disco. How
the devil.
you? I can't remember the words. We have to make up our own.
No, we have to choose a thing. Choose one.
West.
Walking along the tunnel, you are surprised to see a large iron bell hanging down from the ceiling.
Don't ring the bell. I remember the bell is bad.
Bad bell.
Bad
Leave
bell.
your bell alone.
Double West R.I.P.
The tunnel veers sharply to the right and continues north for as far as you can see. You hear a tremendous commotion in the distance, growling and snarling and howling. You draw your sword and set off in the direction of the noise.
It's me trying to get my work trousers
in the
on.
dim light, you see 2 hobgoblins fighting, punching, and kicking each other furiously.
Wow.
Next to where the hobgoblins are fighting, there is a leather bag lying on the floor. And it seems to be this that they are fighting over.
Well, I don't think talking to them is going to do them much good.
Probably not. And I want what's in the bag.
So it looks like we're fighting a couple of goblins then.
Attack! Oggy's hungry. Haven't you had any dinner? Oh, look, it's that fella off that thing. You know the one. The only thing I've seen him in is World's End.
He was in Deadpool 2.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Game On.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
To name 2 things I can think of. The overlay isn't updating again. FYI, recent follows, etc.
Hang on then.
So have a look at that.
What did I do before?
Yeah, while you're ferreting, I'm going to grab me a
No, it isn't, is it?
alcoholic
What's
beverage.
that all about? What did I do before, Lou? I can't remember. Could be from Game On. Apparently, he's been in Bomber.
Well, who hasn't?
I know. Right click properties, refresh, gash. Okay.
How long has this been bottled now? This.
It's got to be 2-3 weeks, maybe.
I'll try one.
I don't know.
For the lols.
Refresh cache of current page. Okay. Well, there's none on it now. Oh. Is Woody the most recent cheerer? Oh no, Sarah is.
Got it cups now. Yay!
Oh yeah, that looks better, doesn't it?
Oh hi. It smells like beer,
His
doesn't it?
recent sub should be. That smells sweet. Should be
Sweet
Lucy,
my ass.
but she's not on there. You're not on the recent subs, Lucy. Stop it.
Yeah, it's alright.
That's weird. I don't know what to do about that. Didn't I go and play it on me last time?
What the hell's that, bomber?
No, live admin.
Oh, this is riveting, isn't it?
Lou loves it. It's fine. She loves a bit of admin. See? I'm sure I just went on there last time and it sorted itself out, maybe.
So very clear.
Ain't it?
It tastes nice though. What are you doing?
Shh. I don't know, you did the refresh last time, but I don't know if you did anything else. I remember going on here last time, I might have done anything, but...
I think it just happened for no reason.
Probably. I bet it's not made any difference. Yeah, that Lou should be on that because she resold.
Or should we do it afterwards? Or whatever.
Sorry, Lou, if you'll just have to stay hidden. If that's even possible. Attack with the pork sword.
Attack with the pork sword.
Caught in their scuffle, they are completely unprepared for your attack. And you are able to kill the first one before he can draw his sword.
With your penis.
You turn to face the remaining hobgoblin,
Lou's crying.
who snarls at
Shame.
you with hatred.
Rude. Attack! Oh, that's different because it was on a board and you couldn't see it
The
last time.
hobgoblin runs at you, but you twist aside as your sword lands home.
Right up his arse.
Yeah, but I remember complaining last time because I couldn't see all the dice. They were hidden behind something
Oh, I
a
see.
little bit.
With one eye still on the bag, the hobgoblin doesn't see you attack and screeches as you land a blow.
Cut the goblin slags.
Cheers.
That's funny. Oh, it makes me laugh when you say slag. So I was watching the other day of someone's stream. I can't think who it was now.
Pretending
Everybody
to be
said to
tired,
us
you
the
bend over
slag.
to grab a handful
It
of
just makes
dirt
me
and
laugh.
throw it in the hobgoblin's face,
It might have been
making your
Disco's stream,
subsequent
mightn't it?
attack very effective. Cut and bruised from your victorious battle, you see that the hobgoblins have nothing of any use to you on them. So you decide to open the bag on
Yeah,
the
it might have
floor.
been.
Inside, you find a corked earthenware jug. You uncork it and sniff the liquid inside. It smells sharp and acrid.
Well,
I'm not making that decision.
Well, I'm definitely not drinking that by the sound of it. Could be some of my own brew.
Apparently it's spunk.
Acrid smoke rises from the jug as you lower the cloth into it. The liquid is unmistakably acid. You recork the jug and place it in your backpack, hoping it may be of use to you later. You sheathe your sword and press on, northwards.
Go north.
The tunnel soon takes another sharp right turn. Following it east, you arrive at a strange obstruction. A row of 12 wooden poles across the tunnel. They are fixed to the walls at each end, about half a meter off the floor and spaced about a meter apart.
Don't
I
want to
don't
touch them
know.
poles.
Why not?
Walk across the top of the poles.
No, it doesn't make much sense. Lou thought it said polos. Eat the poles, blow it up. With our jug.
You step slowly over and between the poles, taking care not to touch any of them. This will be a test of your skill, like the luck test. We'll roll 2 dice, and if the number rolled is equal to or less than your current skill score, you have been skillful. But if the roll is higher than your skill score, then you aren't skillful enough.
Is it 10? Is our skill?
You step slowly over and between the poles, taking care not to touch any of them. After resting for a while, you set off east again. The tunnel ends at a junction. The footprints you have been following turn north, and you decide to stay with them. You soon come to another junction in the tunnel. One branch leads east, but the wet footprints you have been following continue north, and you decide to follow their trail.
I wonder what
The
was
passage
east.
opens out into a wide cabin which is darker but much drier. Ahead, you see the footprints gradually fade, then disappear. There is a large idol in the center of the cabin that must be 6 meters high. In its head are jeweled eyes, each as big as your fist. On either side of the idol stand 2 giant stuffed, bird-like creatures.
Lou says that's her during lockdown.
The idol is very
I think we
smooth
can all relate to that.
and will be difficult to climb. Some rope would have been ideal for this task, but alas,
We had
you
rope
don't
last
have
time.
any. So slowly
Did we?
and carefully,
How?
you begin to
We
climb
went
the
another
idol.
way.
You're about to grab hold of its large ear when suddenly your foot slips. We'll need to check how lucky you are.
No.
We'll roll 2 dice, and if the number rolled is equal to or less than your current luck score, you have been lucky. But if the number rolled is higher than your current luck score,
Cross, is
You
that a
have
power
been
cut as well?
Uh-oh.
Wow.
you just managed to grab the idol's earlobe and regain your footing. You scramble over its
I wonder
face and
where we
sit
went to get
down
the
on the
rope
bridge
then.
of its nose.
Might
You
have been the
draw your
first
sword and consider
thing.
which jeweled eye to prize out first.
I don't know.
Going for it.
As you touch the emerald eye of the idol, you hear a creaking sound below you. Looking down, you are shocked to see the two stuffed birds taking flight. Their wings flap in jerky movements, but they are soon above you and look set to attack. You'll fight the flying guardians, one at a time, but your skill is reduced by 3 during this combat because of your restricted position.
That's rude. That's very rude.
The guardian snaps at you with its vicious beak, but you're able to smash the hilt of your sword into its outstretched neck. Clawing at your leg with its talons, the guardian rips away a chunk of your stamina.
Bastard.
Bastard. Are we red or white dice?
Guardian snaps at
White,
you
I'm
with its
assuming.
vicious beak. You parry, but the tip of the creature's beak sinks deep into your arm.
Oh dear.
The crumpled form of the first flying guardian falls crashing to the floor. So you ready
Oh, hello,
yourself
Dutch.
to take on the second.
Hello.
Isolation inmates.
How's it going?
How are you doing?
The beating wing of the guardian
God, give me arse
smashes into
kicked
the
with
side
these
of your
fuckers,
head,
man.
Going well.
leaving you seeing stars
Should we roll for a
and
6?
sapping your stamina.
It's not going well. Aren't we all in jail?
Coming at you with its razor-sharp talons, you're able to swipe your sword, partially removing one of the guardian's toes.
Removed his toe. Quite the rudeness, isn't it? Oh, let's just find out.
Clawing at your leg with its talons, the guardian rips away a chunk of your stamina. Your final swipe dispatches the second flying guardian. You look down and see the crumpled bodies of the flying guardians lying motionless on the floor. You start to prize out the idol's emerald eye with the tip of your sword. At last it comes free, and you are surprised by its weight. Hoping that it may be of use later,
What, an emerald the size
You
of your
put it
fist?
in your
You
backpack.
surprised it's heavy? How's our slender soul, Jew?
you lower yourself carefully down the idol.
Are you
Absolutely
okay?
Wasting no more
glorious.
time in the cavern,
I can't see
run
through your
forward
foot.
to
Yeah,
the
well, I
tunnel
can't
in the northern
Be
wall.
comfortable.
I can't see through your
Not
foot.
much
For
farther
fuck's
down
sake.
the tunnel, you come to a closed door on your
Look,
left.
just the tip.
Putting your ear to the door, you listen intently but hear nothing.
What are you saying?
You're good. Have a look. Oh dear, the power cut knocked out Cross's phone signal.
Bloody hell.
You enter a room which is small and completely empty. As soon as you are inside, the door slams shut behind you. Suddenly a voice booms out of nowhere, shouting, "Welcome to Deathtrap Dungeon, the ingenious killer labyrinth of my master. Adventurer, I trust you will pay your respects to my master by shouting out his name."
Stick it up your arse.
You take a deep breath and shout, "Succumvit as a worm!" Once again, the mysterious voice calls out, only this time, to your great surprise, in a far less threatening tone. Good. My master likes those who show spirit. Take this gift to help you. It will grant you one wish, but one wish only. Farewell. A gold ring magically appears out of nowhere and lands at your feet with a gentle tinkle.
Tinkle.
You pick it up and put it on one of your fingers. The door opens and you step back into the tunnel to continue north.
Why would you not go in the room? You can have a look.
Yeah, I'm
The
terrible
tunnel
for that one.
twists and turns, but keeps steadily north. Ahead, you see a thin shaft of blue light streaming down from the ceiling to the floor. It sparkles and shimmers, and you can see images of laughing faces in the light.
I don't know. Walk through it.
As soon as your head goes under the blue light, you hear the sound of muffled voices. The faces are no longer laughing,
Oh, shit.
but have changed their expressions to one of despair and anguish. A young girl's sad face hovers in front of you, and she begins to whisper a poem. Transfixed, you listen intently, believing that she has a special message for you as she recites, "When corridor doth water meet, do not make a quick retreat. Take a breath and jump deep in, if your trial you hope to win." Memorizing the spirit girl's poem, you step through the shaft of light and quickly head on north.
Well, that
You
works out.
come to an arched doorway set in the right-hand wall of the tunnel. The heavy stone door is closed, but there is an iron latch and a round handle.
Obviously.
Lifting the latch and pushing the heavy stone door open, you find yourself in a large cabin. The light is dim and murky, but as your eyes begin to adjust, you see that the walls are covered in green algae and running with moisture.
That Lou's dungeon.
The floor is strewn with straw. The
Definitely.
atmosphere is warm, damp and fetid,
Definitely.
and a soft humming sound fills
Definitely.
the
Soft
air.
Cummings.
No.
You step gingerly through
Yeah,
the
gingerly.
straw
Here we go.
towards a corner of the cabin where there appears to be a shallow pit. Peering warily into the pit, you are disgusted to see a mass of pale, writhing worms,
Oh, nice.
some as much as 1/2 meter long. Nauseated, you're about to turn away when you notice that their undulating bodies are swarming around a dagger. Its point held fast in a crack in the pit floor. The hilt is cased in black leather, studded with opals, and the blade is fashioned from a strange, reddish-black burnished metal you have never seen before. You long to touch the dagger, but this would mean plunging your hand in among the writhing worms.
I'm reaching. Going for it.
I'm reaching.
Taking a deep breath, you lean over the pit and plunge your forearm into the mass of wriggling worms. They are cold and clammy and feel extremely nasty, but at least they are harmless, and you are able to seize the dagger by the hilt. You give it a hard tug and it comes away from the crack in which the tip was embedded. Admiring its beauty and wondering whether it might once have belonged to some luckless contestant, you put the opal-studded dagger firmly in your belt and leave the cabin.
Do you know where the bicycle?
As you make your way back
No.
to the doorway,
Oh, they're up there.
the buzzing sound increases in intensity. And you
Twitch
look
still shit
around
in the bed. I don't know, is
desperately
it?
to discover where it's coming
Pass.
from.
I'm
Glancing
so full
up in the
from
nick
dinner.
of time, you see a huge and grotesque black shape of a giant fly emerging from a recess high up in the cavern wall. As it gets closer, you realize that it's at least 1.5 meters long. Its opaque wings vibrate, making the sickening buzzing noise you can hear. And its 6 black, hairy legs
Dagger in the cavern,
are
you got it.
poised to grasp your body. Below, its multifaceted eyes is a long, shiny black proboscis, which darts in and out venomously. You have stolen the giant fly's treasure from her brood of maggots, and you must face the consequences. It's time to test your luck again.
Bye, Alan.
See you later. Sorry, I was trying to catch up with all the
roll
chat.
equal
See you
to
later.
Or
Thank
less
you,
than your
come
luck
in.
score means you've been lucky. But a roll higher than your luck could end badly.
Well, shit. Oh, you bastard. That was too close, weren't it?
The giant fly swoops down again to try to capture you, but this time you manage to evade its outstretched legs. Stepping back, you draw your sword to prepare to fight the hideous insect as it turns to attack you again.
Let's dance.
You hurl yourself at your enemy, fists flailing, and land a stunning blow.
Stunning blow.
Damn right.
The fly charges at you, but you're able to duck out of the way.
Me. How
Creature
unlikely.
flies at you so close you can't use your weapons. Grabbing it by its legs, you swing around, slamming it into a wall.
That's
Pleased with your victory, you wipe the vile yellow slime from the blade of your sword and walk quickly to the door, back to the tunnel, and head north. The tunnel ends shortly at a junction. Looking left and right, you see a narrow passage disappearing into the dim distance.
I don't know.
Which way was that passage?
I don't know. You can do it again.
The tunnel ends shortly at a junction. Looking left and right, you see a narrow passage disappearing into the dim distance.
It doesn't actually say.
No. Moist massage madness. That's Woody.
Where are we going then, Bert?
Go west. We keep going west.
Ahead, you hear the sound of rocks being ground and crushed. The noise grows louder, and suddenly you realize that the wall on your right is starting to collapse. Terrified, you watch as a large, hideous, worm-like creature with a gaping
He's
mouth
seeing now.
and powerful mandibles slithers through a hole in the wall. Its great jaws continue to crunch the rock as it turns its head slowly from side to side, feeling the cool air in the tunnel. It appears to be totally blind, but seems to know of your presence, perhaps sensing the heat of your body. It starts to slither towards you with its mandibles wide apart to attack.
What do you reckon?
Fight it.
It's crunching up rocks for a laugh. Fight. Oh, God.
You draw your sword and advance slowly towards the huge
We're gonna
slimy
die. Head off.
rock
We're gonna
grub.
die. Never seen Tremors.
You thrust your sword and you clearly damage the creature.
Yeah, this new combat system, yeah, if you survive 3 attack rounds, you're automatically
Snapping
win.
at you with its mandibles, the creature catches your leg.
Even Disco
You're
is
able to fight it off,
I
but the
haven't.
wound is deep.
Cap says, watch it then. Okay.
Well, I can't argue with that logic.
Picking up a rock, you manage to smash it into the head of the rock grub. It screeches in pain, withdrawing enough for you to ready for another attack. Pleased with your combat skills, you step round the great bulk of the dead rock grub and peer into the darkness of the borehole it left.
Oh,
You can only see a few meters, but are able to make out that it inclines slightly and is wet from the secreted slime of the rock grub.
I ain't going
hole.
down there, man.
You got it.
I could probably do with some provisions, couldn't I?
Hole. See, Lou's very excited.
Right, so be it.
Giggity.
Tapping the side of the borehole with your sword, you tread your way blindly through the sticky slime. You follow its twisting and turning course for what seems an age and begin to wonder where it might lead. Suddenly, you hear a slithering sound up ahead. You freeze with fear, your eyes desperately trying to pierce the pitch-black darkness. Before you realize what is happening, you are gripped round the neck by the powerful mandibles of another rock grub. It is the mate of the rock grub you killed and has been attracted by the smell of blood on your sword. It squeezes harder until your neck snaps like a small twig. Your adventure ends here.
Slow clap.
Well. That went
Cheers,
well.
Disco. Yeah, cheers.
Hole and hype, very much so, Lou. Very much so.
See, not all sticky, slimy holes are good to go into, are they? If we can come away with anything from this, you know, always.
But I like going in slimy, sticky holes.
So is that where we was? Is it?
Tapping ahead, you hear the sound of rocks being ground and crushed. The noise grows louder,
Yep.
and suddenly you
Valuable life
realize
lesson.
that the wall
Yeah.
on your
Yep.
right is starting to collapse. Terrified, you
I am
watch
boiling off.
as a large,
I've turned it.
hideous, worm-like creature with a gaping mouth
Let's fast forward. Right, are we fighting?
Fight him! Well, did we get anything?
No, you got nothing, but you could go a different way. You either go down the bore. I'm not sure what was the choices. You could either go down the borehole.
We'll just run away then.
He might grab you and kill you anyway. So
We'll cut his head off then.
You draw your sword and advance slowly towards the huge, slimy rock grub.
You slimy
Attack.
bastard.
The rock grub is strong, but slow. You swing your sword, which smashes into its pulsating body.
Pulsating body.
Sounds lovely.
You thrust your sword and you clearly damage the creature.
What's going on with them dice?
Picking up a rock, you manage to smash it into the head of the rock rub. It screeches in pain, withdrawing enough for you to ready for another attack. Pleased with your combat skills, you step round the great bulk of the dead rock rub and peer into the darkness of the borehole it left.
You damaged.
You can
the
only
creature
see a
'cause they
few
run out of
meters,
ideas.
are able to
Nice
make
little
out that it
fight.
inclines slightly and is wet from the secreted slime.
You
of the
gave
rock
the
rub.
creature a boo-boo.
Explore the borehole.
Get stuffed!
After a long
Maybe it's
walk down the
different.
tunnel, you come to a dead end. A large mirror reaching from the ceiling to the floor hangs on the end wall. And in the dim light, you can just about make out your own reflection.
Oh no.
Mirror.
This isn't going to go well,
Mirror. Because I know you wouldn't.
My spider senses are tingling again.
Mirror.
You step up to the mirror and are amused by your distorted reflection. Your head looks as large as a pumpkin,
It is.
and your face is exceedingly strange.
It is.
Nothing wrong with the mirror.
Without warning, a terrible pain pounds through your head, and you try to look away from the mirror, but you are unable to. Some evil force is keeping your eyes glued to your own reflection. You grip your head with your hands and realize, with horror, that it is expanding. You can withstand it no longer, and blacking out with pain, you fall unconscious to the floor, never to wake. Your adventure ends.
That's horrible, isn't it?
That's fucking rude.
We're doing well.
You got to kill that thing again. Actually, is there any point?
No,
Was there no point?
No,
Was it
there
even
isn't.
The mirror or
there isn't. I go in the mirror or... Oh, hang on. I can't remember. It's not going very well, is it? Got to do that again now.
or you could just run
Yeah.
away from the beetle.
You hear the sound of rocks being ground and crushed.
No, there's no point now.
The noise
I've got to
grows
go
louder,
on this way.
and suddenly you realize that the wall
Go
on
back
your
down the
right
tunnel.
is starting
Lucy,
to
there's no
collapse.
point.
Oh, isn't that?
Terrified,
Tough
you
shit.
watch
Skip
as
it.
a large, hideous
Run away like a little biatch.
You walk down the passage and soon find yourself standing at the edge of a deep, dark pit. The passage continues east on the other side of the pit. You think you could probably jump over the pit, but you are not sure. There is a rope hanging down from the ceiling over the center of the pit.
I don't know. Skip to end.
I'm going for it.
Taking a step forward, you leap towards the edge of the pit. How lucky are you feeling? Rolling equal
feel
to
lucky,
or
punk?
less than your luck score
No.
means you've been lucky. But a higher roll could cost you.
That was
Your
nearly
armor
10.
and sword weigh you down, but you just manage to land safely on the far edge of the pit. You waste no time and head east. The tunnel makes a sudden left turn and continues north as far as you can see. You soon arrive at a closed wooden door in the left-hand wall.
Alright.
The door opens into a large candlelit room filled with incredibly lifelike statues of knights and warriors,
Ah.
A white-haired old man, dressed in tattered rags, jumps out from behind one of the statues and starts to giggle. Though he looks like a fool, the sparkle in his eyes makes you think there is more to him. In a high-pitched voice, he says, "Oh, good! Another stone for my garden. I'm glad you have come to join your friends. Now, I'm a fair man, so I'll ask you a question. If you answer correctly, I'll let you go free. But if your answer is wrong, I'll turn you to stone." He starts to chuckle again, obviously pleased with your arrival.
Well, I've got a feeling that attacking him with your sword ain't going to end well because he's a magic man.
Yeah, I don't think. We've got to have a
Same. So we just got to...
question.
It says, would you like a toasted tea?
The old man points at one of the statues, and you recognize it immediately. It is the knight who started the trial of champions. The agonized look on his face locked in stone for eternity. The old man smiles, saying,
This man weighs 100 pounds plus half his weight. How much does he weigh?
"What will you answer?"
I remember this from last time.
I still don't understand this.
No, I don't.
Woody has made his feelings known. It's £100, isn't it, for some reason?
I think it's 200. Because £100.
Do it again. Do the question again.
I was just going to tell you it.
Yeah,
The
who
old man
has
points
asked?
at one of the statues, and you recognize it immediately. It is the knight who started the trial of champions. The agonized look on his face locked in stone for eternity. The old man smiles, saying,
This man weighs 100 pounds plus half his weight. How much does he weigh?
"What will you answer?"
I think it's 200. Because if he weighs £100 plus half his weight
He's
is
100.
£100. If it was 150,
Yeah, it's
it'd
because
be 100
it's how you say it,
plus
isn't it?
75.
It's how you say it,
Yeah.
isn't it? Cause I've just because if said this bloke weighs £100 plus half of his weight, that would be 150 or whatever, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? But it's plus half his weight is after it's added.
Yeah. It's 100 plus half of his weight. So
Yeah.
half of his weight is 100, add 100 is 200.
Well,
I'm always right, Woody, I thought you'd know that by now.
£200.
Still
Fine, lover.
smiling, the old man looks at you and says,
You
Well
fucking
done,
nuts!
stranger. You have answered correctly. I wish you good fortune during the rest of the trial of champions. And to this end, I shall increase your powers.
He then mutters a few more unintelligible words, and you feel a powerful surge soar through your body, increasing your skill, stamina, and luck by 1. You bid the old man farewell
Nice.
and leave his room to continue north along the passage. Only a few meters further down the passage, you see another closed door in the left-hand wall. The letter X is scratched into its center panel. Putting your ear to the door, you listen intently but can hear nothing.
You okay? Oi. I'm going to pinch the
I
shit
weren't
out
even
of you.
going to look because you don't even need to ask. Why would you pinch me?
Because you're a ring piece.
The door
No.
opens into a large room. Looking
Get off.
around, you see an alcove in the west wall. In the middle of the room, sitting in the chair, is the skeleton of an armed warrior, possibly a contestant from years gone by. The skeletal
likes pinching
fingers
ring
of its
pieces.
right hand grip
Heard it here
a
first.
crumpled parchment.
He should know.
I don't remember this
No.
part. What are you saying then, Bert?
Parchment?
Touching the parchment has precisely the effect you had feared. The skeleton lurches forward and, rising from its chair in a series of jerky movements, raises its sword to strike you. Lunging sideways, you draw your sword to defend yourself.
Bloody hell, 8 pluses.
The skeleton is strong, but slow. You swing your sword, which smashes into its leg.
Its leg? That's a good shot.
You dodge to the side as the warrior swings its sword. You kick out, knocking its legs out from under it.
Go for the bone.
Oh dear, oh dear.
You jump back as the skeleton
so
swings
used to
its
it,
sword,
though.
but not quickly enough, and it tears into your shoulder, sapping your stamina.
Once again, you reach for the parchment, only this time lying amidst a pile of broken bones. Unfolding it, you see a map of a room with a drawing of a hideous creature inside it. Beneath the monster is a rhyme, which reads, "Should you meet the manticore, of its tail beware. Shield yourself against the spikes flying through the air." You fold up the piece of parchment
I do remember
and
that
put it in your
vaguely.
backpack, repeating the rhyme over and over to yourself.
Manticore's tail.
You walk across to the alcove.
Who's got a headache if anyone wants it?
At
No,
the
I'm
back
good.
of the alcove
No?
are some steps leading down into a cellar. Cobwebs brush your face as you descend. The cellar ceiling is quite low, and the floor is strewn with debris. In the middle of the wall opposite you is an archway, which leads into another crystal-lit tunnel. There are large mushrooms growing on the debris to your right.
Why would you eat them?
They're probably the greatest mushrooms in
Well,
all
eat them
mushroomdom.
Greatest mushies in all of Mushville.
But what if they're the mushrooms from Toby Carvery?
Oh, you better eat them.
Toby breakfast.
You better eat them.
I'm not convinced. What do you reckon? We'll probably die. I don't want to eat them. It's mushrooms.
You great big vagina.
The tunnel continues west
I bet they're the
for
best
several
mushrooms you've
hundred
ever had.
meters, finally ending at some steps leading
What
up
if they're
to a
the mushrooms from
closed
the
trap
Pick of
door.
Destiny?
You climb the
You never
steps
know,
slowly,
will ya?
hearing muffled voices above you. In the dim light, you can see that the trap door is not locked. You throw the trapdoor open and run up the steps into a bright, lantern-lit
Oh,
room.
that would blind you, wouldn't it?
Two goblins are sharpening their short swords on a stone set in the middle of the floor. You catch them momentarily off guard, but they quickly recover and both rush forward to attack you.
Well,
Point of note here, adventurer. Because of the shape of the room, both goblins will have a separate attack on you in each attack round. However, here your attack will only be effective on one of the goblins. Against the other, you must still use your attack strength in a normal way. But even if your attack would have been effective, you will not wound it. It will just count this as though you have defended yourself. However, if its attack strength is greater, it will have wounded you in the normal way.
What? The mushrooms might have given you powers.
Bellyache is not a
enemy is
power,
strong,
I don't think.
but slow, and screams in pain as your sword sinks into his leg.
Whoa.
You lunge at the creature's stomach with your sword drawn, but the creature whips around, parrying your blow.
Yeah, we might have been able to
Neither
fly.
of you are harmed.
In a dungeon.
Run really fast.
You hurl yourself at your enemy, fists flailing, and land a stunning blow. You both swing for each other, and in the confusion, both miss.
Right.
You thrust your sword, and you clearly damage the creature.
They're using that line again.
Your enemy is strong, but slow, and screams in pain as your sword sinks into his leg. You hurl yourself at your enemy, fists flailing, and land a stunning blow. You thrust your sword, and you clearly damage the creature.
And again.
Triumphant in one of your toughest battles to date, you see that the only furniture in the goblin's room is a table, 2 chairs, and a cupboard on the wall. There are 2 closed doors, one in the west wall and the other in the north wall. The cupboard contains a wooden mallet and 10 iron spikes, which you put in your backpack while wondering which door to open.
Come along, dear.
West.
The door opens into another tunnel. Walking west, you soon arrive at another door in the north wall.
Are we going in there then?
The door opens into a small room in which there is a human skull with jeweled eyes resting on the top of a marble plinth. A row of loaded crossbows is fixed to the left-hand wall, and 2 small wooden balls lie on the floor just inside the door.
Well, I don't think you pick up the skull because the crossbows.
Yeah.
Throw your balls at it.
You take aim and hurl the wooden ball at the skull. A test of skill. The wooden ball smashes into the skull, knocking it off the plinth and onto the floor. Much to your surprise, the crossbows do not release their deadly bolts. You step into the room cautiously and pick the skull up off the floor. You recognize the yellow jeweled eyes as topaz and eagerly pluck them from their sockets. You put them in your backpack, wondering whether or not a trap still awaits you in the room.
I don't know, but I guess we won't need that skull.
I think you should put it back.
I'm going to get an arrow up the arse being on all fours as well.
An arrow. Do a dexterity check. 0.
Putting it back releases the crossbows.
There is an unseen pressure plate on top of the plinth. And as soon as the skull is put back on it, the device is sprung. Immediately, the crossbows release a shower of bolts across the room. Time to test your luck.
Beautiful. It's going to be game over.
A roll equal to or less than your luck score is lucky, but a higher roll could cost you. The crossbow bolts are far too many to evade. We'll roll one die to determine the number of bolts that sink into your body. And you'll lose 2 stamina points for each one.
Be lucky! Thanks, Woody.
Oh,
shit!
We did.
You must rest here a long time to recover from your wounds, losing you 1 luck point. When you eventually feel strong enough to carry on, you leave the room and continue west along the tunnel.
Well, that couldn't have gone worse. You can have your potion,
The tunnel
can't
takes a
you?
sharp turn and you find yourself in a sort of gallery lined with mirrors for some 20 meters. A human skeleton appears to be pulled halfway through the mirror along the right-hand wall. Suddenly, a grotesque being with 4 arms and 4 screaming faces emerges from the mirror, barring your way ahead. It walks slowly towards you, each arm outstretched to grab you. It is a mirror demon from another dimensional plane, come to take your spirit.
Well, we can make a wish because we've got the ring.
Ooh.
But I think we need a
Potion.
bring. And we're back in the room.
I think you should smash the mirrors.
No.
Why?
Because we have this ring for this purpose. We just smash things.
I like smashing things.
You rub your magic ring and wish for the mirror demon to be transported back to its own world, never to return. Still advancing towards you, it starts to shimmer and fade away, vanishing completely just before it reaches you. Your quest continues north.
Well.
In front of you are 2 flights of stone steps separated by a banister of rat skulls.
Which one's up the most inviting on the picture?
Left. Who says middle?
Treading carefully, you
Which way did
slowly
you go?
make your way up
Left?
the steps. You soon reach the top without mishap and continue along the new tunnel, which takes the sharp turn right. After 100 meters in the tunnel, you come to a junction. Looking left, you see the dead bodies of 2 orc guards. At least one of your rivals in the Trial of Champions must still be ahead of you. A quick search of the bodies produces nothing apart from a necklace of teeth hanging around the neck of one of the orcs.
Going through.
The
Would have
necklace
rubbed his ring and wished to
is an
finish the trek
amulet
so I
of
was crowned the
strength,
hero.
which adds 1 skill point and 1 stamina point. Pleased with your find, you
Nor did the
continue
skill
your
point.
quest north. The tunnel soon ends at a junction. Standing there alone and wondering which way to go is one of your rivals. It is one of the barbarians. You call out to him, but at first he does not answer. He merely stares at you coldly, his hands firmly gripping his axe. You walk up to him and ask which way he is heading. He grunts his reply, saying that he is going west, and you may go with him if you wish. Although you are slightly uneasy in each other's company, knowing that there can only be one winner in the trial of champions, you are both content to share in the benefits of a temporary alliance, and you begin to tell each other of your exploits so far, of the monsters and traps encountered and the dangers overcome. Walking along, you soon come to the edge of a wide pit. It is too deep and dark to see to the bottom. The barbarian suggests he lowers you to the bottom with his rope, saying he has a torch which he can light for you to use.
Oh,
Now-
that middle one.
I normally, because I remember this bit, accept the barbarian's offer, but I just want to know what happens there,
Do that then.
if you don't mind.
Shove Barbie down there.
Barbie.
The barbarian reluctantly agrees to your alternative suggestion. You both step back and take running jumps over the pit, landing safely on the other side. Pleased with the ease with which you clear the obstacle, you continue down the tunnel. The barbarian, now a little reckless, fails to see a raised floor stone, which tilts forward as he stumbles over it, releasing a huge boulder loosely set in the ceiling. The rock crashes down on top of the barbarian, knocking him to the floor, crushing his skull. You must now continue your quest alone.
That's harsh.
Feeling sorry for the loss of your new companion, you carry on down the tunnel.
Oops.
Suddenly you see daylight. You run towards the most beautiful sight you have seen for a long time and emerge, expecting to see the welcoming sight of cheering people. But there is no hero's welcome from the people all around you. They are dead. You are standing in a cold chamber littered with armored skeletons and bodies. The exit to victory was just an illusion.
That's rude.
Only the corpses of the past adventures are real. Utterly dejected, you walk back towards the tunnel, but hit an invisible barrier. You, like the adventurers tricked before you, are trapped in this ghoulish place and destined to end your days in the chamber of the dead.
That's why I never go that way then. Marvellous.
Well, that was rude.
That didn't go well at
I
all.
believe you got Barbie killed. Everybody's dead, Dave.
Unbelievable.
Although you are slightly uneasy in each other's company, knowing that there can only be one winner in the trial of champions, you are both content to share in the benefits of a temporary alliance, and you begin to tell each other of your exploits so far, of the monsters and traps encountered and the dangers overcome. Walking along, you soon come to the edge of a wide pit. It is too deep and dark to see to the bottom. The barbarian suggests he lowers you to the bottom with his rope, saying
Take
he
him
has a
up on
torch
his offer
which he
this
can light for you
time,
to use.
you naughty naughtyson.
You tie the rope around your waist and take hold of the lighted torch given to you by Throm, as your barbarian ally calls himself. Taking hold of the slack rope, Throm lowers you slowly over the edge of the pit and down into the dark depths below. You can see by the light of the torch that the sides of the pit are extremely smooth. You drop about 20 meters before hitting the bottom of the pit. There, you see another tunnel heading north, and you call up to Throm and tell him of your discovery. He calls back, saying that he is going to tie the rope around a protruding rock on the edge of the pit and will come down and join you. You hear him climbing down, and soon you are together again.
Friends.
Throm retrieves his rope by shaking it off the rock, and you set off north along the new tunnel. On a stone ledge in the tunnel wall, you see 2 dusty leather-bound books. Throm grunts his contempt for the written word, urging you to leave the books and hurry on.
Open the red one.
As you open the book, it immediately begins to disintegrate, the pages turning to dust in your hands. You manage to keep a few fragments and read the handwritten script. The book appears to be about monsters, and from what you can make out, it contains a full description of a monster called the Blood Beast. It is a horrific, bloated creature with tough, spiny skin and facial blisters which burst open to become mock eyes, evolved to hide the Blood Beast's only weak spot, the real eyes. Blood beasts usually dwell in pools of fetid slime which give off a poisonous gas so strong that it alone can easily knock people unconscious. The blood beast, although too bulbous to haul itself out of its slime pool, has a long and vicious tongue which it wraps around its victims before it drags them into its pool. As the helpless and still living victim's flesh decomposes in the vile slime, the blood beast will feed on it. You tell Throm about the grotesque blood beast. He merely shrugs his shoulders and tells you to get going.
Mummy!
He managed to read all that when it was falling apart and disintegrating. You got to read the black one.
The book pages are sealed together, but a small hole has been cut out in the middle of them, just large enough to hold a small corked bottle containing a clear liquid. You show it to Throm, who holds up his hand, indicating that he does not want you to come anywhere near him with it. His distrust of things unknown is strongly evident.
Drink it.
The liquid is a magical potion that will enable you to detect hidden traps and adds 2 luck points.
Well,
Marvellous.
marvellous.
Setting off, you
Nice.
continue your journey north with Throm.
Got to read all the things.
The tunnel turns sharply to the right, continuing east for as far as you can see. Throm stops and tells you to halt as well. He turns his head slowly from side to side, listening. I hear footsteps coming down the tunnel towards us, he whispers. Draw your sword. You both crouch down to hide in the shadows, and not a minute too soon. For a moment later, you see the silhouette of 2 armed guards. Throm jumps up and dashes forward, screaming a loud battle cry. They are 2 cave trolls. Throm attacks the first one with his battle axe, and you run to his aid to attack the second.
I mean, what would you think if you seen a massive barbarian running at you screaming?
It's going to be a tough one, this.
Can we toughy tougherson?
You drop to the ground, grab the creature, and ram its head hard into the wall.
Take that, you bastard.
Daddy.
You hurl yourself at your enemy, fists flailing, and land a stunning blow. You parry the attack, but your enemy is too strong, and you crack your head on the floor as you hit the ground.
You look to the left and see Throm standing over the cave troll he has slain. Blood is pouring out from a deep cut in his shoulder, but it does not seem to worry him. You search the bodies of the cave trolls, but find nothing apart from a bone ring on a leather cord hanging round the neck of one of them.
Bone ring.
The ring is engraved with a symbol which Throm recognizes. He explains that it must have belonged to druids of the north, and that an ancient talisman such as this will increase your powers if your body is able to accept it.
Now, point being here, our skill is at maximum, our health is virtually at maximum, and our luck is at maximum. It can't go above.
So it can't help you, but it could hurt you.
That's what I'm thinking.
Fuck the bone ring.
Because when I play these games, and I used to actually write them down, anything that I picked up I always added on. Because I thought, well, if you walked in with a maximum of 12, if you get something that increases your skill, it's got to go up.
Yeah, but it don't.
You know what I mean? You pick up a machine gun or something, you know what I mean? Continue.
Yeah.
The tunnel leads into a damp cavern with a high ceiling and rock-strewn floor. Long and wet, teeth-like stalactites hang down threateningly. Their constant dripping creates smoky pools on the floor. The tunnel carries on through an archway carved in the shape of a demonic mouse.
Yeah, but if you have no hands, then the machine gun is useless.
Shut up with your silly logic, Lou. Not interested.
Silo.
You walk around the cavern, but find nothing of interest. Throm calls out behind you, saying that he has found a leather pouch under a pile of rocks. Opening the pouch, he laughs out loud as a tiny mouse runs through his fingers and scurries off into the crevice behind two boulders. Suddenly, you hear the sound of cracking rock above you and look up to see stalactites breaking off from the roof. Throm's booming laugh, which still echoes through the chamber, has made the stalactites vibrate and break off. You yell at Throm to run through the archway as the stalactites start to crash to the floor. This will be a test of your luck.
Darn it.
Despite the stalactites crashing all around you, you manage to dash through the archway without injury. You look around and see Throm thundering towards you, one arm held over his head for protection. He dashes into the tunnel and leans against the cold wall, panting heavily, apologizing for starting the rockfall, and offers you his hand to shake. You tell Throm that maybe he should use sign language in future, even for laughing. You both smile and head east once more. The tunnel ends at a large oak door. Throm wastes no time in testing the handle and is somewhat surprised to find the door unlocked. He pushes it open and walks into a torch-lit chamber. Sitting alone on an ornate chair is a dwarf who bids you enter. As you do so, the oak door swings shut behind you. Adventurers, you have done well to get this far, says the dwarf in a deep voice. However, as you both know, there can only be one winner in the Trial of Champions. As Trial Master, it is my duty to Baron Circumvit
to let only the most able continue. Therefore, I must devise a test of wits and strength to eliminate one of you. Please do not attempt to dispose of me. It will be utterly pointless, for, as you can see, there is no obvious way out of this chamber, and only I know where the hidden exit lies. Now, if you would care to decide between you who will go first, I shall make the necessary preparations. You look at Throm, suddenly angry that your effective partnership might come to an end. He leans over and whispers in your ear that you should try to kill the dwarf and worry about the exit later.
Lou said, but you can see hidden things now, can't you?
I'm going to try that. I never
Attack the
do
dwarf.
that. So
As you rush
I don't think it's
towards
gonna
the
go.
no,
dwarf,
it's not. I'm just
he pulls 2 hand darts from his belt and throws them at you and Throm, hitting both of you in the leg. You are both instantly paralyzed by the poison on the tip of the dart, losing you 2 stamina points. As though glued to the floor, you can only watch as the dwarf retrieves his dart from your thigh. He asks you whether you are willing to enter his contest now. You strain to nod your head. Slowly, the effects of the poison wear off and mobility returns. The dwarf beckons you to follow him, telling Throm to await his return. He opens a secret door in the chamber wall, and you follow him into a small circular room. He closes the door behind you and hands you 2 bone dice, telling you to throw them on the floor. You roll a 6 and a 2, a total of 8. The dwarf asks you to roll again, but this time you must predict the total. Will it be the same, higher, or lower than the 8?
More. Because it's less likely.
fine.
It could be any. Oh, you bastard.
The dwarf looks at the dice.
What are the chances?
Not very good at playing the odds, are you?
He sneers.
I regret you must suffer a penalty before you can continue.
From out of his pocket, he produces 2 pills. One is stamped with the letter S, and the other stamped with the letter L. He asks you to choose one and swallow it. The pill makes you feel dull and lethargic, reducing your skill by 2 points.
Oh, that's me fucked now.
The dwarf tells you that
You're
you
gonna have to
can
move
now
your 2
progress
up.
to the second stage of the test.
You really are boiling hot.
He reaches for a wicker basket and tells you that there is a snake inside.
That dwarf's a bastard.
He tips
Yeah,
the
I'll
basket
bone this
over,
now.
and the snake drops onto the floor. It is a cobra, and it rears up into the air, ready to strike. The dwarf says he wants to test your reactions. You must grasp the cobra barehanded below its head, avoiding its deadly fangs. You crouch down on the floor, tensing yourself for the moment at which to seize it. This will be a tough test of your now depleted skill.
Oh, fucking hell.
The cobra's reactions are quicker than yours, and its hooded head
Oh, it
shoots
deaded.
forward to bite you. Are you feeling lucky?
No. Ooh.
Luckily for you, the cobra's fangs sink into your leather wristband. The snake recoils quickly, ready to strike again, as the dwarf tells you to test your skill again.
Oh, shit.
Are you ready?
No. Snake eyes.
With lightning speed,
You thrust your hand out and grip the cobra just below its open mouth. You lift it up, and with your arm outstretched, you dangle it in front of the dwarf. He doesn't flinch, but says in his calm, expressionless way,
Please put the cobra back in the basket and prepare for the final part of the test. Follow me.
You do what he says and follow him back
Would you
into
want
the
to put
chamber,
that snake in a basket?
where
You want
Throm
to
is
throw it
pacing
as
up
far
and
as you
down,
could?
obviously ill at ease. You wave to him while the dwarf opens a second secret door and tells you to walk on through and wait for him. Again you comply, and you find yourself in another circular room, although this one resembles a small arena. The floor is covered with sand, and a small balcony runs around the arena wall. Opposite the secret entrance you came in through is an ominous-looking wooden door. Suddenly you hear a shout, and you look up to see the smiling dwarf standing on the balcony. He throws 2 pieces of paper down to you. On one of them, the words, "No crop is," are written. On the other, "Ruin moat." In his ever calm voice, he says,
If you rearrange the letters of the words, you will find the names of 2 creatures. You may choose which one to fight in my arena of death.
Can you identify the creature by rearranging the letters?
Minotaur. Scorpion.
You call out to the dwarf that you are ready to fight the Minotaur. The wooden door rises slowly, and you see the fearsome beast, half man, half bull, step into the arena.
Apparently we did
Steam
Scorpion
blows
last
from
time
its
and it was
nostrils
rude.
as it works itself up into a rage,
And
ready
it was
to attack.
rude.
Very rude.
Suddenly it rushes forward, swinging its double-headed axe.
Did we learn something about a Minotaur?
Yeah, you just told us what they are, yeah.
No, I mean previous.
Oosh.
The swinging double-headed axe is a formidable
Going
weapon,
very well, is it?
and you shriek as it sinks into your arm.
We ain't gonna get much further now anyway.
Because you fucked it. It's all your fault.
You manage to get around the back of your enemy, but it quickly kicks backward, catching you agonizingly in the stomach.
That's some provisions. A bit of dinner.
No, I mean, it's more the skill points.
You try to run around the Minotaur,
Because you can't eat
but it
hard.
grabs your arm, throwing you hard into the wall.
Can't you boost it
The
now
dwarf calls down from the balcony, congratulating you on your victory. He throws the
New
sack down
combat
into the
system.
arena
If you survive
and
3
tells you
attack
to
rounds, you
relax
automatically
and
win.
regain your strength for the final part of the test. Then he walks off, saying he will return in about 10 minutes.
then? If only
You
I had
open
a
the
skill
sack and
potion.
find
off.
a jug of wine
Yeah, it'd
and a
only
cooked
do
chicken.
2, wouldn't it?
The food and drink are excellent, and you feel much better, gaining 2 more stamina points. Fully satisfied, you sit down and await the dwarf's return.
So if you have provisions, what's the point of
After
having a
about 20
stamina
minutes,
potion?
the dwarf reappears on the balcony.
Because if you use all your...
He calls down to you,
Things.
saying,
Well, I do have an interesting problem on my hands. Prepare to fight your next opponent.
the wooden door rises once again, and you are surprised to see a familiar face. It is Throm. He is cut and badly bruised and doesn't seem to recognize you. He is clearly delirious as he staggers forward with his axe, raised to attack you. The dwarf laughs and says,
The cobra bit him, but he has the strength of an ox and managed to carry on, even though most men would have died. Now you must fight him to decide finally which of you will continue the trial of champions.
That's
You
rude,
shout
isn't it?
abuse of the dwarf, protesting the cruelty of such a contest. He merely laughs, and you have no option but to defend yourself against poor Throm. Despite his wounds, he is immensely strong.
Is this not going to end well?
Throm swings low, crashing into your ankles and knocking you off balance.
Thanks, Woodhack.
Throm grabs you by the throat and manages to half choke you before you get a chance to push him off.
The combat in this does seem a bit pointless, though. You can't lose, can you, unless you die?
You parry Throm's attack, but he is too strong, and you trip, cracking your head on the floor as you fall. Exhausted by your long duel, you fall to your knees as you stare at Throm's
Death
still
is
body.
the ultimate game over.
A bitter loathing for the dwarf fills your heart. Somehow, you will avenge Throm. Engulfed in your hatred, you do not notice the dwarf enter the arena until he is standing right in front of you, a loaded crossbow aimed at your chest.
I know what you are thinking,
He says calmly.
but remember that only I know the way out of here. Get up. It's time for you to leave.
Once on your feet, the dwarf indicates that you should walk ahead of him. Back in the chamber, he crosses over to the northern wall and pushes against one of its stones. A door-like section of the wall swings out, opening into another crystal-lit tunnel. With his crossbow still aimed at your chest, the dwarf smiles, saying,
Good luck.
Wanker. He's a wanker dwarf, ain't he?
If I swing a punch, I'm going to get shot. And I.
Yeah.
There you go then.
The dwarf is expecting your move. Furthermore, you are not as fast as you should be because of your recent ordeal, so he easily evades your punch, saying,
I could kill you now if I wished, but I yearn for a hand-to-hand fight.
Then he throws down his crossbow and draws an axe from his belt. Despite your fatigue, you think only of vengeance. Because of your condition, you must reduce your skill by 2 for the duration of the battle.
But again, it doesn't matter because you're going to win
Oh,
anyway.
dear, oh dear.
Maybe if you have some food.
The dwarf ducks as you swing at it, smashing its axe into your leg. You quickly eat some provisions, increasing your stamina.
Is drawing an axe hand-to-hand combat?
Well, yes.
Not ready
But
with
you
your
get the
sword,
same
you
numbers
kick
as
out
him.
at the dwarf, but it catches onto your leg, flipping you backwards and smashing your head on the ground.
Ouchie.
You run at the dwarf, but it's ready
See,
for
all
you
three you've
and
lost.
lands a punch squarely on your chin. The now dead dwarf's chainmail coat is of the finest quality iron,
How did you kill him?
obviously
Survived 3
made
attack
by a
rounds.
master armorer. You strip it from his body and place it over your head, gaining you 1 skill point. There is nothing else of use to you in the chamber, so you decide to investigate the new tunnel, which soon divides into 2. You hear a buzzing sound coming from the western branch.
Where are we going then? I'm going to go north.
Yeah.
The tunnel leads into a dark chamber, covered in thick cobwebs. Clawing your way through them, you trip over a wooden casket. The casket opens easily, and inside there is a black velvet bag containing a large pearl, gaining you 1 luck point.
Nice.
After putting the pearl in your pocket, you press on through the cobwebs. You reach the far wall of the chamber and see 2 doors.
Right.
The door opens into another tunnel running north. Ahead you see 2 stone fountains, one on either side of the tunnel, carved in the shape of cherubs. Water spouts from their mouths and cascades into small bowls at their feet.
Ooh. Do you know the answer to this? Drink on the left.
The cool water is refreshing,
Oh no.
but it comes from a source which has been cursed by a hag, adding 1 stamina point, but costing you 2 luck points.
Drink from the other side.
Might as well go in for a penny and all that.
The cool water is refreshing and comes from a source which has been sprinkled with pixie dust, gaining you 1 stamina point and 2 skill points.
Hey!
You continue north.
Oh, that's not too bad. Ended up losing 2.
Leaning against the left-hand wall of the tunnel, you see a pair of bamboo stilts. They are securely chained, and you see a label attached to a padlock which reads, "The price of these stilts is 1 gold piece. Place the coin in the slot to release the lock."
Yeah.
There is a slot in the padlock into which you place the coin. Immediately the lock clicks apart, and you are able to unchain the stilts. You place them on your shoulder and once again set off north. A little farther on, you come to a section of the tunnel which is covered with thick green slime. It looks threatening.
I'm not sure stilts go on your
So
shoulders.
you decide to test it first with a piece of cloth. The slime's corrosive jelly burns the cloth instantly, leaving no
Wow.
trace.
Really is
You
loose
climb
dungeon.
onto your stilts and take a few tentative steps across the floor. Your confidence grows, and you soon feel able to tackle the walk across the slime. Smoke rises from the base of the stilts as the slime starts to burn them away. You plod stolidly on and finally reach firm ground again. Unfortunately, the stilts are still covered in slime, and you are forced to dump them. Setting off north, you come to a
At
junction.
least we bide them. You choose this time.
You walk no more than 3 meters west before you hit an invisible barrier. It starts fizzing and crackling, and you are thrown back. You have hit an energy screen, losing you 1 stamina point. There is no alternative but to walk back to the junction and head.
That's quite rude, isn't it?
You soon arrive at a double door in the left-hand wall. You listen at the door but hear nothing. You try the handle, it turns, and you open the left door slightly and peer through the crack. An armed warrior is lying face down on the floor of a bare room with smooth walls and a low ceiling. He is presumably dead, for he makes no movement, even when you call out to him. A large jewel, perhaps a diamond, lies just beyond his outstretched arm.
We need some scran, ain't we?
You're about to enter the room when the potion of trap detection begins to work, and you are filled with a terrible premonition of danger. The room is set with a deadly trap. You decide not to go in and continue north along
Wow.
the tunnel.
Good job we've got the potion.
The tunnel continues north for quite a distance before coming to a dead end. The mouth of a chute protrudes from the western wall, and it appears to be the only alternative to turning back. You decide to risk it and climb into the chute. You slide gently down and emerge into a room, landing on your back.
Why couldn't we get it?
Because we didn't go in the
As
room.
soon as you stand up,
How could we
you are
have done
confronted by the
Without
most
the trap
repulsive
detection
sight
thing?
you have ever laid eyes on.
it? Oh.
There in front
But
of
then we'd
you,
have died.
wallowing in a circular pool of fetid slime, is a bulbous creature too horrible to be believed. Its body is green and covered all over with fearsome-looking spikes. Its face is a mass of crimson blisters, one of which suddenly bursts to reveal yet another of its many sinister, all-seeing eyes. A narrow path runs around the edge of the pool and leads into another tunnel in the far wall. Remembering the description of the vile blood beast and the warning about the toxic gas rising from its pool, you cover your mouth with your sleeve and step forward with your sword drawn, wary of the blood beast's tongue. As you step around the side of the pool, it rolls forward and flicks out its tongue. But you are ready for it and cleave it with one swipe of your sword.
That's rude.
The beast howls in pain and stretches forward frantically, trying to clasp you between its blood-filled jaws. You start hacking at its hideous face in an attempt to pierce its real eyes.
That beast is rude.
The blood beast's tail whips around you. You duck, but not quickly enough, and it punctures your arm deeply. You slip on the slimy floor, landing on your back, which is lucky because you narrowly avoid the blood beast's tail whipping past where your head just was. The creature turns and whips its tail at you. The fierce spike at the end misses you by millimeters. You jump forward and strike a clean blow into its rear.
You show
Your
my
blade
soul of
strikes
its
one of the
eyes.
blood beast's real eyes with devastating effect. It slumps back into its pool, thrashing about in a frenzy. You seize the opportunity and run around the side of the pool to the tunnel exit. The tunnel leads into a large room, its ceiling supported by several marble pillars. As you enter the room, you see a strange beast to your right. It has the body of a lion with dragon-like wings attached to it, but its head is like that of an old bearded man.
That's weird.
You recognize the beast. It is a manticore. Taking heed of the warning poem you took from the skeleton warrior, you watch out for its tail, which sprouts a profusion of sharp spikes at its tip, thick and hard as iron bolts. You raise your shield in front of you just in time to protect yourself from a volley of spikes released from the manticore's tail and aim straight at your heart. They sink into your shield, and you remain unharmed. Swiftly, you draw your sword and advance on the manticore.
Yeah. Gotta read all the things.
What?
Good job we took
You
the
lunge
books
at the
and
creature's
functions.
stomach with your sword drawn. It tries to move, but you land a powerful blow.
I'm tired now.
You lunge at the creature's stomach with your sword drawn, but just as you thought you'd land a crushing blow, the creature whips around, parrying your effort. Neither of you are harmed.
The only trouble with the whole if you survive then you win is like it's saying, oh, the manticore's bitten you, the manticore's done this, the manticore's
You
done that,
run
oh,
to
the manticore's
avoid the
dead.
whipping tail, but stumble, and a spike from it thuds agonizingly into your shoulder. As you are wiping the manticore's blood from your sword,
See what I mean?
you are surprised to see a small man jump out from behind one of the marble pillars. He is dressed in a tight-fitting green tunic and looks quite harmless, although you are wary of the way he is holding an opaque glass ball with a shimmering green light. "Greetings," he says cheerfully. "My name is Igbot, the gnome, and I am the trial master for your final test. Needless to say, my magical powers are great, so you should not try to attack me. You may have learnt during
Hello,
your
Rose.
quest
How are you doing?
that gems play an essential part in the trial of champions. The iron door in front of you is the victory exit, but there is only one way of opening it. 3 gems have to be put into the lock
But we've only got
mechanism
3,
in
and they're not
the
going to be the
correct
right ones,
order.
are they?
Each gem radiates a unique energy, which will trigger the mechanism. If you do it correctly, that is. But first, we need the correct gems. First, you will need an emerald." The gnome smiles and says, "You truly are a great adventurer. Now, you will also need a sapphire." The
Oh
gnome
dear.
shakes his head and says, "I'm afraid that you have failed the trial of champions. Baron Circumvit's Deathtrap Dungeon will keep its secrets for another year, as you will not be allowed to leave here. You are appointed my servant for the rest of your days to prepare and modify the dungeon for future contestants. Perhaps, in another life, you will succeed."
It was sapphire and diamond, weren't it?
Yeah,
We did worse than the first time.
we did worse.
Because we had 2, I think. Yeah, not too bad. Cheers, Rose. Better for 4 cans of beer.
Yeah, not bad.
Nice.
Well, we've bowled it even worse than before.
Yeah.
And that is where we shall leave it for now. We will attempt this again. What are we doing on Sunday? Do we normally play anything on Sunday?
Well, we've been playing Agent A, haven't we? So we've
We'll,
finished
we'll
that.
try this again. We'll rewind it to somewhere we haven't been yet. And then,
Can you remember where we got the emerald from?
yeah.
Can you really?
Yeah. The statue we had to climb up near the beginning with the 2
Oh, yeah.
birds.
I can't get up now. Slump.
You've got to, 'cause I'm boiling up, so yeah.
I'm here. Look.
Right, go on, you've got to do the stream admin.
I don't need that. Don't put it on me.
Yeah,
Emerald was early doors.
yeah, because we got to the
Yeah.
diamond and went, bloody hell, I found it after all these years that I can never find the bloody diamond. I found it. And then we go into a room and we can't get it because of the bleeding trap detection. So it saved us, but didn't, unless it was a fake diamond.
I remember playing when we played it before. There was something. It might not be the diamond, but it looks like so and so, but it's not.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember
That might have
though.
been the case. Because it's a bit rude, and where you've actually got something that helps
Well,
you.
yeah, because who wouldn't take that? Ow. Time for beddy boys. Yeah, I'm really tired
Yeah,
now.
same.
Ever since I've had dinner, I've just
Yeah, I had a small nap.
a small nap.
A tiny nap.
When did you have a nap?
When you went for a shower.
Oh, no, I didn't know. A smap?
Smap.
Yeah. Or snap.
Oh, remember snaps?
Snaps.
Tomato flavour
tomato,
snaps.
what's it type crisps? I'm not getting into food chat now.
Lou had a bap.
Nice. A big nap. Not an actual bap.
Was it a chicken burger, Lou, and cheesy chips and a kebab again by any
A
chance?
kebab chaser
Kebab chaser.
for tomorrow. A nappet.
Go east.
No, just always go east.
Go east.
To be fair, it's as good a plan as any. Having a takeaway all week.
Ah, well done.
Well, yes, she actually had some shopping. She's been having polos
That doesn't
instead.
normally mean anything, does it? I mean, we've done that. That used to be our thing when I used to live at home.
What?
It was shopping day was Thursday. House full of good, nice, new food, and it was Chinese night. That's how it always was. Thursdays was Chinese.
You're weird, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh no, Chinese for ages, have we?
No.
Miss it. Anyway,
Right.
stop rabbiting now.
Yes.
So we start talking now that we're going.
Well, yeah, we can now. We're not being interrupted
the
by
only trouble, I enjoy the
Eddie.
game, but the only trouble is you've got to shut up and listen to it. I feel like I'm ignoring everybody.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And, we're not really talking.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, is anybody on?
Who would you like us to raid?
You can do. Yeah, it just felt like quite a quiet stream. But then that's fine. I'm just not used to it. Sir Nicholas of Chopville is on.
Sir Chops.
He's playing Diggy. Nikki's on doing Minecraft speedruns or the Mark Watson thing, though there's loads on it. We'll go and raid Nikki.
Yeah, Nicky
Raid
then.
Nikki dropping bits is creating havoc in his stream. Okay. Right. Now let's try and remember how to do this properly. We'll go to the channel. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I'm going to mute that as soon as it comes off. Oh, come on, you little fanny. Oh, it's already muted. Right. I think this is the way to get it to go through quicker. If it actually loads. There you go. Right. Oh, come on. For fuck's sake. Thank you. What is it? Just Nicky Chops. There you go. Hopefully that'll... There we go. I've just noticed that his picture is like a creeper.
Right then.
There you go. It's actually working
Let's
now.
go.
Thank you all for watching.
Yes, thank you guys.
Lou, for
Thanks,
the
Lou.
resub.
You are awesome.
Was there anybody
Yes.
else? I think it was just Lou, wasn't it?
Yes, loads of bits.
And for the bits and
Thank you, everybody.
generally being not that shit.
Thanks for not being twats
That's so way off.
for a change.
They are twats, but they were okay. Ish.
Now, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
we'll play.
thank you.
We'll do this again on Sunday. We'll do a bit
Yeah.
more because there is a map, as you can see. We'll follow that and go
Yeah.
different ways. See how we get on.
Well, yeah, while it's fresh in our minds as well, as you
Yes.
want to do it. Right, thank you all for watching. See you all soon.
Bye.
Ciao. Is it gone? Hasn't gone?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gone
I
now.
just work here.